My name is Elliot Stokes. I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I've been working in Urbana-Champaign for the past 2 years, my second year in the MFA program at University of Illinois.
I'm Lisa Nelson-Robb. I currently live in Peoria, Illinois, and I am attending Bradley University.
I'm Chen Yulin. I come from China, and right now I'm studying in Chicago Art Institute. Yeah.
My name's Mary Wilhelm. I'm a first-year graduate student in ceramics at Illinois State University, but I'm originally from Indiana.
I'm Sarah Kramer. I'm from Indianapolis, and I go to the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign.
My name is Hattie Lee, and I'm originally from Kansas, but I'm going to Bradley University right now for an MFA in painting.
All right, my name is Javier Hasso. I'm from Chicago. I go to UIC.
My name is Jenna Grotelushin. I go to school at SAIC in their low residency program. And I am from California originally, currently living in Greenville, South Carolina, and going to school in Chicago. So it's kind of a hard question to answer where I'm from.
My name's Molly Marco. I'm originally from Loveland, Colorado, and I'm just finishing up my MFA at Illinois State University.
Hi, I'm Kirsten Hedege. I'm a MFA student at Illinois State University, and I do ceramic sculpture.
Christopher Jones. I'm from California, born in San Diego, lived in the Bay Area and Central Valley for a long time, and I go to school at UIUC here.
My name's Tracy Welling, and I am from Granite City, Illinois, but I currently live in Fairview Heights, and that's just 20 minutes away. And I go to school at Southern Illinois University in Edwardsville.
My name's Katie Nettie. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I grew up there, and I went to school in upstate New York for the first time. And I'm currently in the master program, my second year at the University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign.
My name is Paul Kenneth. I am originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota, where I was born and raised. And I am currently living and going to school in Champaign-Urbana at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign.
Actually, this is my first group artist show exhibition, and it's very important to me. And I'm so excited to be called the emerge artist, because artist, this title in China is not that easy to be called, and I found that it's so different in America, because when I talk with my friends who is in China, even though everyone will study art in art school, but we are shy to call ourselves like artists. But when I came to America, I talked with my friends who is here, and they just told me that we are artists. Everyone have that identity, and so I think that the title of this exhibition, Emerge Artist, is very important to me. So I'm so glad that I could enroll that exhibition. I think that's why it's so important. Yeah.
My current practice revolves around exploring human-animal relationships. I'm an educator and also a nature lover, so because of that, I do a lot of material exploration with ceramics, glass, wood, metals, a lot of found objects. So I'm currently creating what I'm calling post-natural objects that address how humans and animals interrelate with each other, interact with each other, especially in urban environments.
So my piece in the show is titled Garden Party, and it is a small sculpture in which I printed a photograph that I took onto satin and then sewed it together and filled it with concrete, and then that's resting on a cinder block that has a cinder block that I found that has leaves and debris stuck inside of it.
The physicality of material is very interesting to me, and mirrored in this piece is that it's a textile piece. It's just made out of tape. And the textile work is a pliable plane. So it's got a back and a front, and the image is made at the same time that you make the physical object. It's not put on something. The idea that there's a chance involved in working is very interesting to me, as well as a reverse, like it's reversible. I can change it, I can cut it, I can go back in.
I have two sculpture works, one that, or both that deal with a recent body of work, or they're from a recent body of work that I made, to do with ideas of the abject and ordinary. One that has, that's more to do with pencils and the idea of inscription or writing, and then another one that has to do with, that's more responsive to the landscape and space, that's got corn and like a candle vigil thing, that are both are submerged in like a pile of excrement.
I'm really excited for this opportunity to show at McLean County Art Center because I get to be a part of this thriving arts that's going on in Illinois in the community and see what's happening with the other people showing, as well as get to interact with my own pieces. I would hope that my works might spark some sort of interest in cultural pattern work. Maybe people won't recognize where it's coming from or where that particular style is derived from, but maybe they'll walk away wondering more about what culture does this represent, or what culture is in my own past and my own history, or what culture am I engaging with in my own community. So I'm just really interested in how we all relate together, and I'm telling that through indigenous pattern work.
Well, I am coming from the South, so I'm still, I'd say, in my acclimation to the Midwest. Much of what my experience in Illinois has been so far, I found much greater success in the smaller towns outside of Chicago. I think it's important to engage with the university that's here as well. I've been very encouraged by the community of art that I found in Bloomington. I think it's also just a great opportunity to showcase work with a bunch of other emerging artists in Illinois, some of my colleagues, some from all over the state, and it seems that we're all working in very diverse ways, and I'm just very happy to be a part of that.
So my work within the last year has really evolved. In my last year in undergrad, I was really focusing just on vessels and function, and within my first year at graduate school, I've been focusing on the domestic space, but particularly the objects, and thinking about how people interact with those objects.
So there are two paintings that will be in the show. The first of the two is based on a photograph of a portrait of my great-grandmother and great-aunt, Bertha and Frida Knoll. I'll leave it at that for that one. The second of the two is a much smaller painting that is based on a ghost story that my mother used to tell me when I was a young child.
So the piece that I have in this show is called Piss Pants, and it's a piece about a childhood memory that I have, sort of traumatic memory, trying to have my first reconciliation and peeing my pants. And I'd been using this technique where I crochet with embroidery floss with a really small crochet hook. So it's like this meditative thing where I'm meditating on this memory and working through it.
So I have two paintings here on display. One is depicting an airport terminal, and one my family's kitchen. The intention behind both is to depict the visual phenomenon my dad is experiencing, as he's got Benson syndrome, which is a visual variant of Alzheimer's. It's also known as posterior cortical atrophy. It goes under a few different terms, all under the umbrella of essentially a cognitive dementia. And his is very peculiar, pretty rare, and he's described the oddities of his visual spatial functions. including stuff like the surfaces are shinier, he sees double vision, colors sometimes are askew, say the least. So I was really excited to see the open call. I have been wanting to do more exhibitions for a while, just get more experience with that. And I haven't done too much outside of the school I went to in California, Westmont College and SAIC. So this has been a great opportunity to just get more experience.
I'm interested in alternative materials, but these materials specifically were pushback against some of the traditional values that maybe have been imposed on females in general. So for instance, like instead of creating a dress that's in a typical fashion where you sew it together, I wanted to actually build it in a way that would make you question as to how it's made and ask the questions of why would you do that as opposed to another thing. And it just shows another viewpoint on what has to be traditional or what doesn't have to be traditional. So I made a choice, an intentional choice to make something that's familiar but with different materials in order to ask those questions.
So the two pieces I have on display, Precarious Territory is a bunch of ceramic stools I've created that have kind of anthropomorphized to reflect certain feelings of instability with different feelings of like starting anew or insecurities, and they're all kind of a pack together moving around the space. And then my other piece, Cycles, is a bed piece that I've made. The raw clay sculpture will sit on a box spring, and hopefully throughout the show will dry out at different paces and reflect the different cycles of thought and living.
So it's important to exhibit in McLean Art Center because it gives the opportunity for new artists, for emerging artists to exhibit.